You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Good afternoon and welcome back to SFA Presents, where we exhibit the works of the talented filmmakers here at William Patterson University. I am your host, Johanca Vallejo, and today we have a very well-known guest in the world of Hobart Hall. She has been in the executive board of the Student Film Association for 4 years, is the current president, is one of our producers for DTF, Down to Film, and believe it or not, is also a producer for SFA Presents itself. Now, before I introduce the director of What the Heart Wants, let's take a look at the first clip for today.
Tired of wasting your time on broken relationships? Wish you could just fast forward to meet the love of your life? Unfortunately, time travel is impossible. But here at Love Tech, there's one thing that's possible. And that's finding true love. Just as simple as 1, 2, 3. Your personalized ticket of fate can tell you where to meet your soulmate. Not when. We can't do all the work now, can we? Don't hesitate. With a click of a button, you can have the key on finding the love of your life delivered straight to your door.
I would love to introduce my dear friend, Jamie Sharpe. Jamie, thank you so much for being here. How do you feel?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited for this interview.
I am very excited that you're here. So let's talk about What the Heart Wants. So, why create it?
Well, originally this film idea started off as a film called Life's Compass, which I started back in January. It was a very complex idea. It was inspired by like a multitude of different like TV shows, movies that I just loved. As time went by, I decided this would be my capstone idea, which I would do in the fall, which was last semester. And then as I like kind of like dumbed down the idea, made it simpler for me to actually create, it became What the Heart Wants.
So were there major key differences other than the title from Life's Compass to What the Heart Wants? Like, what other elements were in there that you...
Well, originally, every single character was like associated with a genre of music, which I found to be a little bit complicated. This would have been like maybe a half-hour film if I decided to go through with that. I simplified it a little bit more so it was easier to film. The character Emma, she was going to be like some sort of like indie-inspired character. As you can, there's a speed dating scene where all of those characters are still inspired by different musical genres, but it's definitely a lot simpler than my original idea.
Okay, now to make things a little bit more simpler, what was the process from the beginning to the end, and how long did it actually take you to film it and all of that stuff? Like, tell me about that.
Well, like I said, the original idea, I started writing it in January of 2018. I didn't get to start filming it until November or October of 2018, so it was a very long process. I believe the shoot, it actually took us 11 hours to film. Yeah, it was, but it actually ran on schedule. There was a lot going on, and even like the actress said, like it was a very professional shoot, and I think it couldn't have went any better.
Really? All right, well, I'm really excited. So why don't we take a look at the second clip for today for What the Heart Wants.
Good luck.
Thank you. Here, keep the change.
I will.
Oh, very comedic, first of all. Second of all, I really want to talk about this ticket thing. What is that?
Well, the Ticket of Fate is this futuristic device that she bought, which tells her where she's going to meet her soulmate, but not when, which is kind of inconvenient if you think about it. It's just this device, like, it leads her to the Mugshot Espresso and Cafe, which is where she will meet her soulmate.
Quite interesting. Now, can you tell us about Emma?
Emma.
Who is she?
Well, Emma is the main character. She's a hopeless romantic. She's actually on the search for her soulmate. She's played by Kaitlyn McCaffrey. She's a very talented actress. We found
Kaitlyn?
her. Yeah, Kaitlyn.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very talented. She was extremely cool to work with. But I think she portrayed the character Emma very well.
Really? Now, we've never seen her in Hobart Hall or on campus.
We haven't.
How did you come about casting her?
Well, when I was in Film 3, we actually went through this process of finding actors in the New York area, having casting auditions, as well as finding just a bunch of different actors, like professional actors, not just like high school, college actors. She was one of our 3 choices, and she just happened to be the best one.
Well, very good choice, by the way. Now, what was the hardest thing about making this film?
One of the hardest things was definitely trying to make a very convincing cafe. I had the film set in a cafe. That's where she was going to meet the love of her life, which she thought to be the jazz musician Reed, the saxophone player. We actually filmed that in room 113, which is the production room, I believe it's called. We set up about 2 hours before the filming production actually started, and we transformed it completely into a cafe.
Now, I feel like lighting, speaking of turning 113 into this magnificent cafe, I feel like lighting really did play a very important role. You had the pink and you had the blue. Why those specific colors?
I don't think I actually had a specific reason. I guess you could say one of the inspirations for this film was an episode of Black Mirror called San Junipero. When I watched it, it had these really beautiful neon blue and pink colors. I just fell in love with it and decided I wanted to incorporate that into my film.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a look at the 3rd clip for today?
Sometimes I feel like jazz doesn't get the respect it deserves. It used to be a culture phenomenon back in the day, you know? Hey, listen. I'm sorry about the other night. You sounded good on stage. I mean, it's not for everyone, but you did good.
Good?
A bit sharp on some notes. It's not like you're a professional or anything. What? You said you wanted to be a singer. You need to learn how to take criticism.
Maybe singing's just not for me.
Maybe you're just singing the wrong stuff. How about listening to some good old American jazz? Ugh. Isn't that some of the best sax playing you've ever heard?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Do you know who it is?
Louis Armstrong?
Armstrong played the trumpet. You want to guess again?
Duke Ellington?
No.
I don't know, I give up.
Babe, it's me! I'm surprised you couldn't tell.
So I want to talk a little bit about the editing style. Why did you decide to make it quirky? And the time cards? What's that about?
The time cards, a couple days later, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Well, it is a rom-com. I wanted to make it a little quirky because this film is kind of everything. I'm putting my whole entire heart and soul into this. I wanted to kind of have a piece of me in it. I'd consider myself a little quirky, so I wanted to put something in there that was a little quirky as well.
I think I would definitely agree with that. Now, can you tell me about the rest of your cast and crew? Like Reed, who was played by George Buccelli.
Yeah, I had, like I said, I had Kaitlyn McCaffrey as our lead, George Buccelli. I had a lot of members of the SFA in my film. I just wanted to include all of my closest friends. The entire cast and crew was just a magnificent team to work with. It's all SFA members.
Oh, all right, so I think that we really want to know one thing. what was your message with this film?
Well, there also have been a lot of interpretations of the message of this film that I've heard from. What would you consider yours to be? I'm curious.
Well, after watching the film, or the longer version of the film, I feel as though one of the messages would probably be that your love can come from anywhere, one. Two, love doesn't necessarily have to be like sexually interesting, if that's a word, I'm not sure. Like it doesn't have to be sexualized, I'm sorry. Like it can be friendships, relationships, any other sorts of relationships I feel like is love, like parent, daughter, son, and things like that. I think another message that I took away from the film was probably that although you may not know it, your love can really come from anywhere. I mean, your love could be standing right in front of you. But I want to know what your message of the film was.
I mean, yours was very close. I don't think there's one exact message that I was trying to tell. I think there's just a multitude of messages that came out of this film as I was producing it. I'd say the main message of the film is that you're in control of your life. Just because a lot of lives lead this one specific path doesn't mean you have to follow that one. You can branch out. It's your life. You're in control of it. If you want to love somebody, you love who you want to love.
Well, at the end of the day, love is love, right? Now, do you have any sort of advice for new and upcoming filmmakers?
Of course. There's one quote that I like to follow by. If you can, I believe it goes, if you can picture a movie in your head, follow it shot by shot, scene for scene, then that idea is worth pursuing. It basically means if you have this idea in your head, no matter how many obstacles you endure on your journey, it's worth pursuing, it's worth fighting, it's worth all the tears, everything. You just keep on going for it, no matter how hard it seems. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
That is very true. I really like that specific touch. I want to talk a little bit about what's on the table here. So let's talk about the props.
Sure.
So we have love. We have a beautiful heart over here and something from, what is this?
That is a flower. Yeah, these were all present within the cafe scene. All like the neon colors. I love the neon scheme. So the heart was present on her table. So was the rose, and just all had to do with.
What about the sax? Why did you make Reed's character play the saxophone as to any other instrument?
Well, a lot of aspects of this film came from, I would say, exaggerated pieces of my own life. Like Reed, he was a saxophone player, I was a saxophone player, so I just favored that instrument.
Okay, I understand, quite interesting. Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for being here with us. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much to Ms. Jamie Sharpe for being here with us. Thank you so much to our cast and crew for their help, Al Clark, our studio manager, and thank you for everyone watching. Remember, the Student Film Association meets every Thursday during Common Hour. That is 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Hobart Hall in Screening Room 140A. Also, you can subscribe to our SFA YouTube channel at Student Film Association, our SFA Presents YouTube channel at SFA Presents, and you can follow us on Instagram at WPU SFA for more information on the club's upcoming events. Tune in for the next upcoming show.